King Charles III abruptly declared his abdication in an unexpected development that rocked the British monarchy and would undoubtedly change the course of the royal family's destiny. Relatives of Queen Consort Camilla disclose her intense emotional distress over the choice, stating that she breaks down in tears as she mulls over the ramifications of this momentous change. This historic occasion represents a critical turning point for Britain, posing issues with public opinion and responses abroad in addition to succession planning. Prince William is confronted with a landscape of expectations for a contemporary and diverse monarchy as he expedites his preparation to assume the throne. Please come along as we review the implications of this surprising revelation and the future of the British royal family. King Charles III resigns. The British monarchy was at a crossroads after King Charles III abruptly announced his abdication. Historically, the monarchy has been viewed as a sign of stability and continuity, and it's now venturing into unknown territory. This choice not only upends the basis of the monarchy, but also poses essential queries regarding the monarchy's development in the contemporary day. Many had expected a long reign marked by Charles's distinct style of kingship, emphasizing the development of closer ties with the people and the natural world. Nonetheless, the abdication implies a significant change in leadership and priorities. Observers point out that such a significant break from history can be seen as unstable, leading to opposing opinions from Republicans and Royalists. International societies will be affected, and there's much conjecture about how this may change bilateral ties and how the British royal family is viewed abroad. The world is watching this historic statement with great interest, curious how it will affect the monarchy's future and its notable citizens' legacies. Queen Consort Camilla's emotional response. Queen Consort Camilla is experiencing a range of emotions following the announcement of King Charles III's abdication. Internal royal household sources characterize her as deeply impacted. Rumors have it that she was spotted crying as she processed the implications of this meaningful choice. After years of aiding Charles in his endeavors, Camilla's response conveys her grief and her fear for the monarchy's future and her place in it. The public's perception of her position is divided. Thus, this emotional cost complicates an already tricky adjustment. Spectators draw attention to Camilla's challenges in managing the contradictions of royal life, such as juggling her duties as a consort with handling criticism from the public and conflicts within her family. Charles's abdication, which signifies a break from royal convention, puts her in a hazardous situation where she must show tenacity and adaptation. It's unclear how she'll use these emotions to inform her future royal responsibilities as the public and media concentrate on her emotional health. Her trip will undoubtedly impact how the public views the monarchy as it makes its way through the extraordinary transition. The abdication's effect on monarchy. The choice of King Charles III to abdicate marks a meaningful change in the British monarchy, changing its course in ways that are still unclear. This historic occasion created a new standard and significantly impacted the monarchy and succession. Abdications have historically been uncommon in the annals of British royalty, which makes this action more noteworthy. It acts as a reminder that the organization needs to change and adjust to meet the expectations of modern society. As Prince William prepares to take the throne, analysts wonder how the public's perception of the monarchy will change as a result of this change in leadership, particularly in light of the generational divide it signifies. Contemporary leadership styles and principles are significant topics of discussion as the monarchy tries to stay relevant in a world that's changing quickly. So, how will institutional duties and responsibilities be reshaped in light of Charles's abdication, specifically in public service? The royal family must tread carefully in the upcoming months to reconcile tradition and modernity while interacting with a more varied public. King Charles's emotional repercussions from being the Queen Consort. King Charles III's abdication throws a dark cloud over the kingdom and his personal life, especially his relationship with Queen Consort Camilla. Charles is deeply affected by his resignation, and he's always aimed to reinterpret the monarchy. Despite his seeming charisma and readiness for the throne, he's frequently shown signs of strain from heading a dynasty rich in historical significance. According to people close to the king, He feels a range of emotions, including vulnerability at times, because of this choice. His sacrifices have been made to modernize the monarchy, especially in light of the problems and inevitable criticism of public opinion. Not only do Camilla's tears indicate the end of an era, but they also symbolize the emotional burden that's followed their journey together. The couple's difficulties juggling their private and public lives shed light on the problems associated with royal responsibilities and the frequently unseen costs of being a royal family member. How Charles handles this emotional fallout when he steps down will significantly determine his legacy. Challenges facing Camilla as Queen Consort. Since King Charles III abdicated, Camilla has faced more public scrutiny and expectations, making her task as Queen Consort more difficult. Although her job has changed and she's no longer seen with suspicion, her place in the royal family is still precarious as she negotiates the new dynamics. After Charles resigned, Camilla's emotional reaction became the subject of discussion, bringing up the numerous difficulties she faced as a public figure. Even though she has steadily gained popularity due to her genuineness and altruism, there are still unanswered questions regarding her position in the public eye. As Camilla claims her place in the contemporary monarchy, critics compare her to the late Princess Diana, posing severe obstacles for her. In addition, the abdication begs urgent concerns regarding her future impact. Will she be viewed mainly as an extension of Charles's reign, or will she continue to change how the public views the monarchy? Observers point out that her credibility and relevance in an altering royal scene will depend on how she balances emotional sensitivity and public duties. Prince William's quicker ascension to the monarchy. Following the sudden abdication of King Charles III, Prince William's willingness to take the throne has become a topic of concern regarding the future of the British monarchy. William has been prepared for royal tasks since infancy, thus taking on leadership responsibilities has benefits and drawbacks. He's in a good position because of his expertise in navigating public life and his comprehension of the intricate duties of being a prince. But this change draws criticism. William now has to present a vision of the modern monarchy that balances tradition and the necessity for change in a country that's changing quickly. Many royal observers point out that his life, which includes everything from military service to charitable initiatives, has well prepared him for this significant job. William's approach to royalty as he prepares for the throne represents a shift in the monarchy's foundation, emphasizing inclusivity, modernity, and public engagement. But he feels compelled to execute swiftly because of the growing expectation. The expectations around his reign highlight a generational divide and the aspirations of varied people who want a more approachable and flexible monarch. William and the varied expectations of a modern Britain. As Prince William gets ready to take the throne, he has new expectations because of the shifting cultural climate in Britain. This change occurs when society demands a monarchy representing its variety and contemporary ideals. Public opinion is moving in favor of leaders who address urgent social concerns and respect cultural diversity. Spectators point out that William is uniquely positioned to advocate for more inclusive monarchy because of his background. He married a woman whose roots are in both standard and royal traditions. In light of the increasing importance of public discourse concerning racism, gender equality, and environmental sustainability, the royal family must adjust to maintain its relevance and public trust. This rising expectation forces William to look for fresh approaches to engage a listenership that craves openness and sincerity. He's expected to spearhead discussions on advancement and reform within the monarchy and uphold tradition as the heir apparent. William may strengthen the value of the monarchy in contemporary Britain by overcoming these obstacles and promoting harmony amongst various communities. Juggling tradition with forward-looking change. Prince William will have difficulty balancing royal tradition and the progressive ideas that today's society demands as he prepares to assume the throne. Although the British monarchy has historically been seen as a sign of stability, William's reign will force him to reconsider these traditions in light of shifting public opinion. Many analysts think his success will depend on how well he navigates the fine line between respecting past customs and tackling modern problems. People in the UK are speaking out more and more, about how they want a progressive monarchy that addresses societal issues like social justice and climate change honestly and transparently. William may resurrect popular support for the institution by incorporating these components into his strategy. But there's also a chance of opposition from traditionalists who would reject innovations. Maintaining the long-standing integrity of British royalty while showing his relevance as a modern ruler will require finding this delicate balance. William's ability to convey himself as a leader actively involved in the issues affecting people's daily lives, rather than just as a figurehead, will be crucial. The startling approachability of King Charles. King Charles III's unexpected approachability was a defining characteristic of his brief reign, differentiating him from past monarchs. Charles has made a deliberate effort to be more approachable and sympathetic to the general population, despite the prestige of his position. His interactions at numerous engagements have demonstrated a kind and inquisitive nature that appeals to the public, thus bridging the divide between the monarchy and the people. His ability to create a friendly mood at community gatherings, whether through engaging discourse or informal contact, has been observed by observers. One memorable incident was when he interacted with restaurant employees directly, exhibiting a grounded personality that complemented his royal duties. Because of his friendly manner, a new generation of royal enthusiasts has been attracted to Charles, changing the narrative and making him seem more relatable than his predecessors. His manner may be a template for King William as he sets out to modernize, and the latter can build upon it. Charles's strategy provides insightful guidance on engaging with a diverse public, while upholding royal dignity as the royal family works to solidify its position in contemporary society. Charles's interaction with the public. King Charles III made it clear during his reign that he wanted to engage the public and build relationships, a major change from previous methods. His dedication to building trust has paved the way for a monarchy that's more involved and sensitive to the demands and influences of society. Charles has proven to be skilled at making people feel heard and appreciated through sincere talks, volunteering, or visiting nearby areas. These exchanges demonstrate a deep understanding of the value of fostering trust, especially when established institutions are being questioned. His curiosity about regional customs and societies goes beyond outward manifestations, enabling him to cultivate sincere relationships relatable to people from many backgrounds. By doing this, Charles upholds the monarchy's status as a source of inspiration and encouragement for the people of Britain and increases its relevance. Leading by example, his dynamic approach shapes future expectations for the royal family, especially as Prince William is ready to take up this changing heritage. Dedicated to environmental issues. King Charles III hopes to carry on the tradition of being a steadfast supporter of environmental causes. His emphasis on ecological preservation and sustainable farming methods has put him at the forefront of conversations about climate action for many years. Throughout his tenure in public office, Charles has persistently tackled problems such as plastic pollution, promoting the global cleaning of ecosystems and oceans. His enduring commitment shows that he genuinely cares about protecting the environment for the next generations. He integrates environmental campaigning into the monarchy's public persona while balancing his royal responsibilities and personal views, enabling the royal family to address modern issues. Younger generations who are beginning to place a higher priority on climate action can relate to him because of this zeal. Commentators point out that Charles's leadership convincingly illustrates how the monarchy may significantly contribute to addressing global issues. This commitment might have an impact on Prince William's upcoming royal projects. As Britain looks towards an uncertain yet hopeful future, the generational transition makes room for an even greater emphasis on environmental stewardship, making it a cornerstone of the family's legacy. Charles's main aim. King Charles made it apparent that embracing cultural diversity was a significant priority during his reign, encouraging tolerance and consideration for different groups. His efforts are more than just symbolic, they show a dedication to comprehending and fostering the various cultures that make up British society. As a prince, Charles traveled to many nations, politely interacting with people from many backgrounds. These events have affected his viewpoint and motivated him to support multiculturalism in the UK. there is a great deal of hope that upon taking the throne, his commitment to diversity would be demonstrated by his active support of various viewpoints, establishing a monarchy in line with Britain's growing multiculturalism. This dedication to comprehending cultural quirks may aid in mending rifts within the royal family, especially given the difficulties brought up in recent interviews. According to observers, Prince William, who could draw on themes of diversity throughout his reign, can take a cue from Charles's strategy. By prioritizing cultural enrichment, the monarchy can position itself as a symbol of inclusiveness, strengthening ties throughout the country and increasing its relevance for future generations. Tradition versus modernization. The early years of King Charles III's rule have brought attention to the continuous difficulty of modernizing while upholding royal customs. Charles is burdened with addressing widespread expectations of his enduring traditions constituting the monarchy, while acknowledging that the institution must change to survive. His mother, Queen Elizabeth II, was the subject of a wave of sorrow at the start of his reign, which both cemented him in the conventional role and offered a chance for reform. The juxtaposition of duty and grieving highlights the monarchy's continued existence, but modern involvement is still vital. Charles's strategy offers a forum for public discussion by acknowledging historical traditions while remaining receptive to change. This delicate balancing effort will be crucial as he makes important choices representing shifting social norms. Observers discover that walking this tightrope will also determine William's trajectory, pushing both leaders to adopt contemporary values while preserving the core of royal heritage. How Charles handles this turning point in society's expectations will determine his legacy and the royal family's continued significance. The dual nature of monarchy. King Charles III's transformational approach has created more complex public expectations surrounding the monarchy. The people want a strong presence that respects royal customs, but also wishes for leadership that addresses modern issues. So far, Charles's reign has demonstrated the contradictory character of widespread expectations, a need for response combined with a need for permanence. With Queen Elizabeth II's death, a vacuum was created, and Charles now has an implicit obligation to uphold her legacy while adjusting to changing social norms. Royal analysts point out that handling these constantly shifting expectations will be difficult for Charles and subsequent monarchs. He must protect himself as more than a ceremonial figure to quell public discontent and preserve allegiance. His deeds must relate to people struggling with social justice issues, the environment, or the economy. Ultimately, the monarchy's survival and significance depends on its capacity to balance tradition with modern ideals. How Charles handles these expectations will significantly impact how people view monarchy as future conversations develop. Prince William will probably follow this example when he accepts his role later in life. Encouraging diversity in the face of tradition. King Charles III has actively participated in diversity, advancing inclusivity in a community with varied viewpoints. His reign seeks to reflect and celebrate the diversity of cultures that enhance British society at a time when the public is more concerned with representation. Charles has shown flexibility by attempting to reinterpret conventional royal engagements by bringing contemporary viewpoints. He has met regularly with leaders from different groups, aggressively trying to learn about the issues and concerns that are most important to them. This interaction differs from earlier royal customs when access was frequently granted more formally and remotely. Charles promotes conversation and engagement that generate mutual respect and shared beliefs to forge genuine connections. Charles seems dedicated to upholding the notion put out by critics who claim that modern monarchy must change to preserve the interest and trust of the people. However, there are particular difficulties in balancing advancing diversity and upholding royal traditions. Interacting with diverse populations can set an important precedent for future leadership, particularly as Prince William prepares to take over this dedication to diversity in a historically orthodox institution. Resolving cultural conflicts. Resolving cultural conflicts has become a vital duty as King Charles III negotiates the complexities of his rule. The contemporary monarchy faces several difficulties brought on by the disparities in viewpoints and life experiences among distinct cultural groupings. These conflicts have already come to light, impacting how the public views and interacts with the royal family. Charles has stated his desire to encourage communication and settle underlying issues while promoting togetherness among various cultures. Cooperation and trust require understanding the shared past of cultural groupings. With society's problems today, there's a chance to present the monarchy as a genuine facilitator of these discussions. By allying with underprivileged groups, the royal family can augment its function in fostering communal unity. Commentators state that the monarchy must live up to widespread expectations by transparently resolving issues to promote community and attract foreign talent and investment. The capacity to manage these cultural differences will be essential to maintaining the monarchy's legacy in a country that's becoming more diverse, as Charles lays out his plans for the royal family. Charles versus Elizabeth. The public's opinion of the monarchy and its engagement style have changed significantly with the ascension of King Charles III to the throne from Queen Elizabeth II. Elizabeth was known for her formality and devotion to custom. She also frequently maintained a distance symbolic of her rule. On the other hand, Charles's strategy breaks down the previously present barriers in royal engagements by emphasizing warmth, openness, and relatability. Observers have noticed this change in various public interactions. Charles adopts contemporary communication methods and frequently interacts directly with members of the public and local authorities. While Elizabeth stood for stability, Charles is keen to adjust to the realities of modern society and is having talks that help the monarchy relate to various groups. This development reflects a philosophical shift in how the monarchy is viewed and functions and a generational change. Charles is altering the monarchy's public image by adopting a more personable manner, probably shaping expectations for Prince William's rule. This flexibility will ensure that the monarchy upholds modern British ideals as society changes. Tense relationships after 2021. King Charles III's reign is under constant scrutiny, and familial conflicts that surfaced during Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's 2021 interview with Oprah Winfrey provide difficulties. There was significant fallout among the royal family from the disclosures about mental health discussions and the racism accusations. Following media attention, the public's curiosity about the underlying dynamics, frequently fraught with conflict and division, grew. Commentators point out that these conversations have fundamentally changed public opinion, prompting many to doubt the monarchy's capacity to deal with modern problems. Charles wants to bring people together in varied areas, but his attempts are hampered by people's animosity towards the internal conflicts within the royal family. As a result of these disclosures, the family's relationships must be maintained while current disputes are addressed. In the future, the royal family's ability to handle these problems will be crucial to rebuilding the public's faith and legitimacy. In light of the monarchy's advocacy of empathy and comprehension, it may be imperative to tackle the enduring consequences of these splits to establish a unified and sustainable national identity. Public perception and the royals. In light of recent discoveries and family conflicts, the public's opinion of the British royal family is still weak. Thus, King Charles III must restore public faith. The ramifications of the Oprah interview in 2021 revealed divisions inside the family, which changed the public's perception of the monarchy. Many people have voiced their uneasiness and questioned the institution's applicability in dealing with significant societal issues. Charles must navigate criticism from the outside while trying to change public opinion. Transparent communication tactics and community involvement programs that connect with various audiences will be essential to this attempt. Reiterating the monarchy's significance and addressing unfavorable impressions can be accomplished by crafting a narrative centered on empathy and service. As conversations over the institution's future develop, the royal family is expected to put forward a united face, emphasizing advancement and positivism. Recognizing past transgressions could be critical in mending internal rifts and fostering harmony. The consequences of popular opinion will influence how the monarchy changes and adapts as the new king sets out on his voyage and views a changing Britain. Flexibility in the life of a royal. King Charles III faces significant difficulties navigating relationships among the royal family as he works to construct a contemporary monarchy. Adjusting to shifting public perceptions and heightened scrutiny requires a flexible approach to royal life. Observers have observed that Charles emphasizes open communication and teamwork above rigid hierarchies to foster a family-like environment. This adaptability is essential to his rule, particularly given the current family conflicts and the insights they've provided into their inner workings. A family atmosphere that values compassion and understanding among members can promote resilience and togetherness. Clarifying and resolving disagreements will be essential as Charles promotes an environment where mutual aid flourishes. Strong ties will not only strengthen the internal structure, but also have a favorable effect on the public as the monarchy moves forward while addressing the legacy of the past. By striking this balance, the royal family can successfully position itself as a relevant and modern institution while maintaining their significance in Britain's story and adjusting to current expectations. The death of Queen Elizabeth II. The British monarchy underwent a significant sea change with the death of Queen Elizabeth II, which also rocked the royal family's foundations. Her death created a vacuum and made the organization face its future in the face of shifting public opinion. Elizabeth's reign was characterized by stability and tradition, but when she passed away, King Charles III was forced to reconsider the workings of the monarchy. Observers point out that modernization is becoming increasingly necessary, especially in light of social issues like diversity, equality, and climate change. In addition to providing continuity, grieving after her passing sparked conversations on the institution's need for reform. The royal dynasty needs to change to remain relevant to future generations. Legacy issues still exist. It will be determined by Charles' leadership and growing hopes for Prince William whether the monarchy can accept the required reforms while paying tribute to Queen Elizabeth's lasting legacy. The monarchy's future identity will be shaped mainly by how dignifiedly it navigates this change. Prince Harry's memoir. The publication of Prince Harry's autobiography has complicated the already tense dynamics among the British royal family's members by highlighting their troubles as a family. The memoir, Spare, contains personal information about Harry's life, including themes related to mental health and his experiences residing under the spotlight all the time. Given the difficulties faced by family members, this open examination of his complaints raises significant concerns about the way the institution treats its members and has handled mental health issues in the past. How the biography has been received has strengthened polarizing existing storylines, especially amongst Harry's families and their detractors. Analysts contend that Harry's disclosures highlight how urgently the royal family must openly discuss its conflicts. As the establishment struggles with these disclosures, there's a chance to promote healing and peacemaking to close divides. Rebuilding trust and connection within the family may require listening to Harry's experiences. This could pave the way for a revitalized sense of oneness. The media's impact on creating royal narratives. More than ever, the media shapes popular perceptions of the British royal family, particularly after recent developments and disclosures. The close link between the monarchy and the press has been brought to light by the dramatic increase in media attention that followed the death of Queen Elizabeth II and the publication of Prince Harry's biography. Every headline impacts public opinion, affecting how people see the organization overall. The sensationalized media attention that frequently obscures the royal family's beneficial contributions to society and feeds into ongoing stories of conflict and scandal is criticized by observers. King Charles III needs to prioritize cooperation and openness with the media to have a better, positive connection with them. The monarchy's capacity to steer its story will be crucial to restoring public trust in the face of persistent difficulties. Developing business relationships can assist in reducing inaccurate representations as Charles and his team adjust to changing media dynamics. Proactively interacting with media sources could open doors for ethical narratives that positively impact the public, resolve issues, and provide a complete picture of the monarchy's place in contemporary society. A forward look. The British monarchy is surrounded by uncertainty as King Charles III's reign takes shape, which has sparked conversations about the monarchy's future course. The current period is full of potential and challenges due to the recent abdication and dynamics within the family. The country's sentiment demands that Charles lead with transformation and looks forward to Prince William's coronation. Both leaders have a heavy burden of history, therefore they must be flexible while upholding the organization's rich past. Expectations from the general public will work as a guide as they try to engage a group of people who are becoming increasingly cynical of conventional methods. The monarchy's continued relevance will depend on how well it balances between upholding royal traditions and implementing significant reforms. In addition, constant media attention and cultural changes demand that problems be faced head-on with initiative. The monarchy can forge its identity in a quickly changing environment through a unified royal story that prioritizes altruism and civic involvement. The royal family is navigating toward an optimistic and inclusive future, and although the path ahead may be challenging, there is hope for rebirth and reconciliation. If you've watched the video till here, that means you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notifications bell icon